Hey everyone, here's that water retention project that I had just finished. So I wanted to walk through it, answer any of the questions that I've had, so that way you can kind of have a visual about how it all works. And before I go into all the different parts of it, I just want to go through the life cycle so that you understand how it actually works. So at the beginning here, it starts at the gutter, right? It's a rain system. So on the top, I have a filter, kind of one of those plates that goes over the gutter to help keep out leaves and sticks and everything like that. But obviously some is still going to get in, right? So as it goes down here, it's going to go into that little black thing up top right there. I'll zoom in. Right there, that's a water filter that I bought. It's called the Maelstrom. You can Google Maelstrom water filter and you'll see what it is. It pops up first and it's a whole bunch of them. So it's easy to find. But it's going to go in there and it's going to kind of churn around, and then the excess, the dirt and the sand and the gravel and stuff from the roof is going to go down into this outlet port. And it's going to run down into the draining system down here. And the clean water is going to go right down the middle of it into this upper IBC. IBC stands for Intermediate Bulk Container. And it's important to make sure that you have food grade IBCs, not ones that were filled with a chemical or anything like that. And it's not easy to find, but if you look hard enough and wait long enough, you'll find some food grade IBCs for sale for relatively cheap that you can use for these. So as the water goes into this upper one, they're all interconnected. So it's going to pour down into these two lower ones first, and it's going to fill those up, and then it's going to fill the upper ones. And in order for, well, once it gets to the top up here, this is that overflow that I have here. So water's going to fill up this pipe also because they're all interconnected. And then the overflow is going to go right into the drain where all that junk is coming from the filter, and then down into the drainage system. So it'll never go, the water will never go above that low point of that PVC pipe right there. So most of it is all 2-inch. This is all 2-inch pipe. This is 4-inch drain pipe. So it's like a third the price of 4-inch PVC pipe. So use drain pipe, not PVC. There's no point to using regular Schedule 40 PVC pipe. There's no water pressure in this, really. Nothing to be, going home to mom about. It's only going to be like 10 psi, so there's no problem. So in order for the water to actually fill up in these IBCs, the air has to go somewhere, right? Because water goes up, there's air up here, and it's going to build up pressure and then not allow the water to go any higher and cause vapor lock. So we need to have a place for that air to go. So what I did is I just put a PVC cap. It's a female or a male side here. It's sticking through to a female on the other side that's screwed into it and sealed. And that allows the air to escape and go through that PVC pipe. And it just comes right out here to the top of the upper IBC where there's always going to be air, so that it can get out. And then just for safety, I also put a little piece of window screen on it to make sure no bugs come in. And I also wanted to mention too, in the research that I found, is that you can put, you need to put a couple of pieces of wood in here to help keep a gap in between where that PVC is sticking out, because as these things fill with water, it's going to sag down, right? You don't want it to sag down because it's practically touching the PVC empty. So putting a couple of 2x6s on both sides of it will help balance out that pressure between the upper and the lower and not risk snapping that PVC joint out. If it did, we'd be flooding my backyard with several hundred gallons of water. We don't want that. So now what I chose to do down here is I put 2 water spigots at the lowest point of the IBC. And I did that so that I got the benefit of all the water pressure all the way up to the top. Now, I'm no mathematician, but it's something like 1 pound of water pressure per foot of water. So with all of these up to the top, we're looking at about 8.5 feet of height. So we're getting about 8.5 to 10 psi of water at the bottom section there. But what I'm actually watering is going to be way down there, which is about another 10 foot south. So I'm around 20 psi is what I will be getting on the outputs down there. And that's more than enough for a drip system that I'm going to hook up to these. I'm going to use like a Rainbird automatic water sprinkler. They're like 20 bucks or something like that. And I'll connect them to both sides and it'll go off and water the garden automatically for me, so I never have to pull a hose out. And then I also added just a mid-range one here so that I can fill up, you know, like a 5-gallon bucket of water or something if I needed to. And then this middle pipe here, well, actually, let me show you these because you probably want to see what these look like. So every single IBC is going to come with a valve, a gate valve in the middle of it. And so all I did is I just used a rubber, what are those called? Well, I'll just say fitting for a coupling, a rubber coupling, and I just connected 2-inch PVC to it there, and it worked on all of them because not all IBCs are the same. Some have different types of gate valves than others, and they have different threads right here. So I couldn't just go and get one single type of male threaded thing. I couldn't find any to fit that to connect it to the PVC, so I just used, you know, a gasket style one to connect them. All right, so they're all connected and the water fills up, and it's going to fill this pipe up too. And that pipe is to make sure that there isn't any water going too high in these IBCs, because once it gets too high, it's going to hit these upper caps and it can start leaking, and I don't want that. So the overflow is maybe about 2.5 inches from the top of the IBCs. That way the water is going to run around here and it's going to go down into the waistline, as you can see here. So it's going to just go down the waistline into the drainage system that I'm not entirely done setting up yet. But anyways, so let me show you what that water filter looks like on the top. I'll get this over here. All right. So on the top is going to be this water filter, and it's really cool. When I was researching it, I was looking for a different type of water filter that was kind of like in line with those, but this one is actually kind of nice because it sits nice and sturdy on the IBC, and I just connected it to the cap that comes with the IBC, and it fits real nice and tight. And so yeah, all the inlet water is going in this one, the outlet with the junk is going out this one, clean water goes right down the middle of it. So let's open it up and take a look at it. Oh, so yeah, it's rain harvesting Maelstrom. I think it's out of Australia, and kind of makes sense because a lot of homes down there aren't connected to a water municipality, so they retain water through roof systems and stuff. So they generally have like big water reservoirs in the ground that they use. I'm using IBCs. Some of them use IBCs out there too, but let's open this up. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the filter, and as you can see here, it's got this hard plastic shell, and then it's got this fine thin screen on it here. So when the water comes in, this is going to build up with pressure. It's going to push the clean water out to the sides, and then as you can see, it goes straight down into the IBC. There's a secondary filter. I can get it out. So it goes down into the hole right there, all good clean water. And this thing is really slick because you can take this screen off real easy just by popping that off, pulling it off, cleaning it. Clean up this blue section here, which as you can see is in half, and it pops in half real easily with those clips, so you can give it a good thorough cleaning. I probably don't expect to clean it more than maybe, you know, once every 6 months or year. I don't know. I didn't see any instructions with times that you have to clean them out, but that's kind of what I'm guessing. But it's really good quality filter system, and I'm really happy with it so far. So hopefully when I get the first rain, we'll make sure that this all works properly. There's another cap that I put on this one over here, right there, so that way it doesn't overflow either. So anyways, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'll answer them. Thanks.